Dog Pound Nation, or wow, I screwed that one up. YouTube Nation and Dog Pound. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Room. I am your host, Unger to the Max, coming at you with this Week 11 Cleveland Browns video collaboration. It is the Philadelphia Eagles coming to town to take on the Cleveland Browns. And in my pursuit of doing a video collaboration for every game on the Browns schedule, please welcome to the show my guest, a fellow YouTuber and a Philadelphia Eagles fan, Philly 500.
Yo, everybody doing? King Name back here, Unger to the Max. I appreciate you allowing me to come on your channel, talk a little Eagles Browns. I don't get to see much Browns here and there. You know, I watch. I enjoyed the double moonwalking that you guys gave the Dallas Cowboys a few weeks ago. I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I really appreciate you having me on.
Sure thing. And for those of you who are watching, I will post the link in the chat if you want to pop into the actual video and ask me or Philly a question. And then you'll have to step aside so others can join in. You know, if you have comments, feel free to write them in the comment section. We love answering questions and discussing what you guys, the viewers, have to say. That's half the reason we YouTubers do this stuff anyway.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Totally agree. And I'm very curious to see what Brown fans have to say. I think it's going to be interesting to see your guys' perspective.
So, first of all, both teams are kind of coming into this game with opposite mindsets because we are coming off a not that impressive 10-7 win against the Houston Texans in Week 10, whereas you guys are coming off losing again.
Yeah.
And yet you're somehow winning the NFC East. I don't know how.
It's the worst division maybe in the history of sports. History I've ever seen. I have not seen a division this bad. I mean, if I'm just going to keep it real, I mean, how can you have a record with 3 wins and be winning the division? So yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So I saw one of your newest videos and you said this is a must-win game for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, mathematically it's not a must-win, but when you look at the Eagles' schedule going down, I mean, you're going to have to play Seattle, New Orleans, Green Bay, at Arizona, and then you got a division game against Dallas and Washington. In this division, I figure maybe 6 wins possibly could win this division. So I think that you can get two. I think you can get two wins against Washington and Dallas, but you're going to need a third one. And I think this in Arizona is that possibility. So I really see this game as a game that the Eagles got to find a way to win. They just do,
Oh, we got a fellow Eagles fan out in the chat. His name's Fun One.
Fun One, huh?
Yeah.
Fun One, what's up? You got great taste in teams, that's for sure.
Fun One, if you want to, I can let you in on this chat or in this collab if you want. Just let me know. But for now, so this game has a little bit of an interesting twist to it because your quarterback is Carson Wentz.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Going into the 2016 NFL draft,
right?
You guys were not in a position to draft Carson Wentz.
Right.
You guys had to make a trade to jump up to the number 2 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what team held the number 2 overall pick?
Let me guess. Cleveland.
That would be correct.
Yes.
Yep. We held the number 2 overall pick. So you guys traded up to our pick to take Carson Wentz. Mm-hmm. Your starting quarterback gets injured in like the preseason or something.
Right.
We're playing you in week 1 of that season in Philly And who starts for the Eagles? Carson Wentz.
And you know what he does? Opening drive, goes right down the field, and he scores a touchdown. It's exactly what happened.
Yep, and you guys would go on to win that game 29-10.
Now, as a Browns fan, let me ask you a question. Did you feel when you guys traded Carson Wentz, did you feel that was a mistake or that was a good decision at the time?
Well, we didn't trade Carson Wentz. We traded you the pick. Yeah, we traded you the pick that allowed you guys to take Carson Wentz. But to answer your question, I would say the way he's played, I'm not too disappointed that we passed on Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the following season, the year before we drafted Baker, which I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Baker.
Okay.
But in 2017, we were in a position to draft Deshaun Watson, who we faced last week.
Yeah.
But we traded that pick to Houston.
Right.
And then I've heard this report flying around. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that the Browns wanted to take Mahomes. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
So Mr. Philly 23 says, "I'm here, Philly."
Oh, shout out to Mr. Philly 23. I just put something on my Flick chat telling people that we're live. So if they see it, they'll hopefully come in.
Yeah.
And, tell them they could come on and talk. They feel
right.
like it.
I just put the link in the chat. So if you want to click on that and join this discussion and ask either of us a question, feel free. I don't know if we'll allow you to stay on for the whole time, but if we get into a little bit of a conversation, so be it.
I love this. How you're gonna have to tell me how you're doing this, because this is something I would totally do on my channel. I never know how to get people.
Sure. Okay. I can definitely explain.
Tell me later. Don't have to tell me now.
Okay.
I want to hear your opinion on how the Eagles are going to destroy the Browns this week.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want to hear.
If you're going there, have you? Well, did you guys just give up a crap ton of rushing yards to Wayne Gallman of the New York Giants?
We did. Yeah, we did. We're usually pretty good against the run, but we did. It was a bad week. It was a bad week for the Eagles last week. You beat a team 8 straight times. Eventually, they're going to get it. But it is what it is.
Hey, on the subject of that, you guys have beaten us 5 straight times. We haven't beaten you in the regular season since November 11th of 1994.
That's a long time. You forget that because you don't play AFC teams except for once every 4 years. So
correct.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I guess you're right. I can't remember the last time you guys beat us. And
we beat you in the preseason 5-0. But
oh yeah, I remember that.
I was at that game. And I am going to be at the game on Sunday. The Browns are allowing fans, despite Governor DeWine putting in a stay-at-home advisory.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to get into politics. Not do that.
Right. I'm with you there.
Yeah,
I'm 100% with you. But I'm glad that you're able to go to the game. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
it could be fun. I think another Eagle content creator is going, Nitro Freak. I don't know if you know who he is.
No,
I think he's headed to that game too.
Are you guys allowed to go to the games at Lincoln Financial Field?
They were letting people go. Now I think they just banned them again. So I think they can't anymore, at least for the temporarily. But I think for a while they were allowing about 7,500 people. So
gotcha. We're allowing about 12,000 fans.
Yeah,
so we just briefly talked about how you guys got chewed up by Wayne Gallman. You have to face a more dangerous run game in a 2-headed monster in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think that's a great duo, and I mean, it's a good duo of running backs. But I mean, like I said, the Eagles usually do a decent job against the run. Last week they didn't, but they usually do. And I think if they put a heavy emphasis on it this week, I mean, I think they could do a decent job. I don't know if you're going to just flat out shut them down, but I think they could do a decent enough job. I think the key is get you guys into third and long situations and put it in Baker Mayfield's hands. I think that's what you have to do,
So
go ahead.
you guys are ranked 9th on defense, by the way. So kind of backs your point about that. But we're 5th in the league in terms of rushing, and you're allowing about 133 yards per game this season.
More than I thought.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. And Chubb scored a touchdown for the Browns last week, but that game, I was not impressed by the Browns last week in our win against Houston. I'm like, I know we had the rainstorm and the delay, but still, it was just not good.
Right. Well, it's going to rain again this week too. I think. Right? So that's an advantage for your run game. I said it. I put up my preview prediction video earlier. I said that I think the key to this game is whichever team can run the ball effectively, and then whichever defense can stop it. Because we've been struggling, and I think the Eagles are going to go. I'm expecting them to really go heavy on the run and start using Miles Sanders, who's been really probably our most consistent offensive player when he plays. And we've done a good job running. I think we got like 3 or 4 plus 50-yard touchdown runs this year. So we can run the ball. It's just that we don't commit to it enough. But I think this is the week you got to do it.
And maybe you should, because I'm looking at my notes. Even with Carson Wentz as your quarterback, the Eagles are ranked 28th in the passing game.
Right. Bad.
Yeah. But the Browns aren't any better. We're ranked 30th.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think both teams want to put it in the quarterback's hands. Want them to have to go and throw. I think that's the key to this game: running the ball, no turnovers, especially in sloppy weather. That's going to be the key. We just picked up Jordan Howard. I don't know if they officially signed him yet, but they picked him up for the practice squad. But he's not going to be able to play. There's my man, Mr. Philly 23.
Yeah, there's Mr. Philly. He says, guys, it was a sad day at school. We have a fantasy league, and I had Miles Sanders, and I dropped him for Nick Chubb because Doug doesn't run. Sad day.
Yeah.
No, that's not a sad day.
That's a very sad day. But I got a feeling, buddy, if you can get Miles back, get him. Because I have a feeling he's going to run a lot this weekend.
And well, you guys don't have to deal with Myles Garrett because he's out for this game.
That's the break. I think that's the big break. Jason Peters at left tackle scares me. He is not the same guy. And I really thought Myles Garrett was going to have about 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He was the big concern. So that is a huge break for us, and I'll take any break I can get at this point.
Which, quick side note, I'm looking at your hat. Thank you for taking down the evil empire in Super Bowl 52.
Oh, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. It was an honor to do that. Definitely.
That was one. I won't say I root against the Eagles ever, because you're not. For me, there are certain teams that I just will always root against, and there are certain teams that I root for, and there are some teams in the middle where I'm like, I'm not sure. Right. Eagles for me are one of those middle teams, but I was definitely rooting for you in Super Bowl 52.
Yeah,
because I just hate New England.
Right. Well, that's very understandable. And my feeling with the Browns is I've always felt kind of felt bad for you guys. I mean, I hate to say it, but I always feel like the Eagles have had bad luck in our history, but there was always one team that just seems like they had it worse than us, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
they do. I mean, it just seems like whatever goes wrong can go wrong.
Yeah,
we've been there. I've seen a lot of it. But
yeah, but at least you guys have you guys have played in 2 Super Bowls. You've won one. The Browns, in this era of social distancing, the Browns have been social distancing from the Super Bowl since its inception.
They have. They really have. But I mean, think about it. You guys have a team, right? You're a team that was in all these AFC Championship games. I remember when you had Bernie Kosar. You had a good team, and then they pack up and they go to Baltimore, and then Baltimore goes and wins a couple Super Bowls. So that was your team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I hate the Ravens. I mean, you gotta hate the Ravens more than anybody, right? Browns fans.
Actually, I hate the Bengals more.
I would hate the Ravens to no end. They would be the most. That would be like my Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like to think that they went and they packed in. They moved on you guys.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I respect the Ravens in the aspect that they are a tough, grinded out style team. Usually,
They are. Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're that type of team this season. You've already played the Ravens, and you played the Bengals, and you played the Steelers. So we are your last of the 4 AFC.
And we need at least one win out of the AFC.
You're 0-2-1 because you tied with the Bengals, you lost to the Steelers, and you lost to the Ravens.
Yeah.
We're 2-0 against the NFC East right now, having beaten the Washington football team and beaten the Dallas Cowboys. And then this week we have you guys. And then in week 15, we have to play the Giants. And we got a question from Mr. Philly. He says, is Isaac playing left guard, Philly?
I think now when I did my preview prediction, the injury report had not come out yet. But he came off of IR and was able to practice last week. So he's been practicing all this week. My guess is he's going to get activated and play this week, but we'll see. But if I had to put money on it, I would say yeah.
So we were talking. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying I'll check and see if the injury report came out. See, yep, here you go. It just came out 14 minutes ago. Isaac Seumalo is officially back. Eagles activate him. So yeah, he'll be playing. That's huge for us. Left guard has been a big problem. So yeah, Mr. Police playing.
So we briefly mentioned how Myles Garrett isn't going to be playing, and that's a huge break for you. It sucks that he's not playing because of COVID, but
right.
In this era, it is what it is. But I feel like with Myles not there, you guys can't focus on any one guy now. So, if Myles had been in the lineup, you probably would have double teamed him.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I'm not saying I don't want Myles Garrett in the lineup, because obviously I do.
Right.
But maybe, it's not as bad as we think, because it's like, oh, they can't focus on Myles. So now Olivier Vernon can get after Carson. Right. Sheldon Richardson can get after
Carson. I think anytime you have a star player that you take off the field is not a good thing, because just think of all the attention Garrett's going to get will create opportunity from other guys. I see you got some guys coming in here. Marcus is here. Zachary's here.
Yeah.
What is up, guys? Hey, you guys can come call in. Right. Guys let them know how it is.
I put the link in the description. I put the link in the chat. So I believe all you have to do is click on that and you'll appear backstage and I'll let you in. Let me know if that link just takes you to the actual video, or write in the chat if that link works, because I want to try and bring some of you viewers on and ask me or Philly a question or comment on anything we've said. Certainly, we invite the questions, viewers. That's, again, I said this earlier. You guys, the viewers and the subscribers, are half the reason we YouTubers make this content. I don't do it just to satisfy my ego. No.
And obviously I have no ego.
I don't have an ego. I was just,
I'm just kidding.
I was just saying that for the.
I have an ego when it deals with Mark Holmes. When I keep destroying him, I'm very proud of that.
Oh, Fun One is in, but it says Fun One's on, but it says that you need Fun One. It says you're on, but you need to connect your microphone or camera before I can add you in. So try and get that set up, and then I can let you in, dude. But we're talking about star players not being on the field. Look at the other side of the ball. You guys don't have to deal with Odell, but again, the question is, does Baker play better without Odell? Because based on what he did, at least against Cincinnati, the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to discredit Odell Beckham Jr. as a wide receiver because he's definitely a superstar for sure.
Right.
But maybe Baker just doesn't work well with superstar wide receivers. Like Jarvis Landry is an all-star wide receiver. Like most NFL fans know the name Jarvis Landry, right?
Right.
But he's not at the star level of an OBJ. Mm-hmm. So maybe Baker's just more comfortable with a player like that. Do you feel like that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it sometimes. I think there are guys, for whatever reason, they don't mesh well together. There are. I haven't watched enough of the Browns to tell you, hey, yeah, they just they don't work well together. I don't know. All I know is from dealing with Odell Beckham Jr. when he was with the Giants, he was a pain in the butt. And so not having to play him, to me, is another break,
Fun One. Your microphone is on mute, dude. How are you doing?
Good.
Fun One, you having fun?
Yep.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
Oh, and we got another person in the chat, Cobb. All right, so we got 4 people. All right, Fun One. Do you have a question or comment? You there?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a question or comment?
Philly 500. Did you miss Nate Gary last week?
Did I miss Nate Gary? No, I didn't miss Nate Gary. I don't miss him anytime. I'm so glad that he's on IR. I couldn't be happier. It was like one of the greatest moments of my life was when Nate Gary went on the IR. He stinks.
But doesn't he have the most tackles on the team?
Oh, God. Yeah, that is the most overrated stat. I don't know who's calculating these statistics, but I've never seen a guy do nothing and then get credited with tackles. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's fake news. He stinks.
You know who else stinks? Andrew Sendejo.
Huh?
You know who else stinks? Andrew Sendejo.
Andrew Sendejo. Oh, God, yeah.
I don't know why we signed him. I just don't.
I did not like him when he was with us. So
I don't remember Sendejo being with the Eagles.
Yeah. He was with us.
I only remember him being with the Vikings.
He was with us for like half a year, and we cut him. And then he went back to the Vikings.
Oh. Well, you probably cut him because he couldn't tackle for shit.
Yeah, well, he couldn't cover either. A Fun One.
Yeah.
You like Nate Gary?
No, I hate him.
There you go. There you go. That's a beautiful thing. If I ever could get a Nate Gary jersey, I would love to burn it on my channel. That is like one of my dreams.
Yeah, that would get so much love. Everyone loved that.
Oh, yeah.
So, Fun One. What's your perception of the Browns this season?
I mean, they're pretty good.
So, do you feel like we're a legit 6-3, or do you feel like it's a bit of a fluke?
I feel like they're probably like more of like a 5-4 team, but like I don't know. It's like...
He thinks they're a fluke. They're the Browns. After all, they're the Browns. I'm sorry.
I love what Crazy Dog just said. I bet Philly 500 remembers when Senslow nearly injured Maddox.
Yeah, against Green Bay, I believe it was. Yep. Sendejo. He was no good.
All right. So you got anything else fun one?
I would just like to say I hate the Giants. I think we would have crushed them if Deshaun Jackson didn't get injured.
Yeah, I agree that definitely hurt us. When I think of that Giants game, I really believe these NFC East games are always won in the fourth quarter, and when the Eagles scored and made it 21-17, instead of kicking an extra point to make it a 3-point game, they went for two, which made no sense. But I also think it killed the momentum. I don't think the Eagles ever recovered from missing that 2 point. We should have beat them. We're better than the Giants.
You probably no. I'm sorry to burst your bubble a little bit, but you probably should have lost to them on Thursday Night Football if Daniel Jones doesn't stumble and create.
That was typical Giants Eagle football. I mean, they always usually lose to us some weird way, but you beat a team 8 straight times. Eventually, that's going to happen.
Yeah. All right.
3,500.
Yeah.
The Eagles are undefeated in primetime.
That's true, aren't they? They've all of their wins have done. They haven't won a day game yet. That's crazy.
And you have a primetime game next week at home against Russell Wilson.
I know, but we can't beat Seattle, save our lives.
Actually, before the schedule came out, I knew we were playing the NFC East, and I knew that meant we were hosting Philly. So I'm thinking, okay, the NFL is going to look at it and go, Carson Wentz is playing in Cleveland. And I thought because of that whole draft storyline that you and I talked about earlier, Philly, I thought that, the NFL would be like, okay, let's put this game in Sunday Night Football and have like Carson against Baker and what could have been for the Browns and what the current situation for the Browns. I'm a little bit surprised that this game is a 1:00 kickoff, actually.
Yeah, well, I think I'm trying to remember what the Sunday night game and the Monday night game. I think the Sunday night game is Kansas City and the Raiders. So that's an interesting matchup.
Yes, and the Monday night matchup is the Rams and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to stream both those games, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. You got anything else fun one?
Nope.
All right.
Hey, it was good talking to you, my man.
Yep.
You too.
Thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
All right, so that was fun one. Again, if anybody else has any type of question or comment or one has something they want to ask, feel free to click on the link and I will let you in. So yeah, I'm surprised this game is 1:00, but it is what it is. I thought the Browns were going to be on Thanksgiving this year against Dallas, but because they had Buffalo against Dallas last year for Thanksgiving, so I'm like, okay, maybe they'll.
Who's Dallas play? Is it Washington?
It's Washington.
That's typical, though. But you can't even say Cowboys versus Indians anymore. It's the no names. Washington is a team with no name. They have no name.
I've heard rumors that they actually might consider keeping the.
No, I heard that too. I think that's insane.
So we got a guy in the chat. He goes, "What's your prediction?"
27-17 Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to put together their first complete game of the season because I think they have no choice. This is do or die for them, in my opinion.
Mr. Philly, I'll give you my prediction in a second, but we got a question from Mr. Philly. Why can't Doug stop being stubborn and just realize he is a bad play caller like Matt Nagy? He gave up play calling. Doug, it's your turn.
I mean, the guy thinks he's done a great job play calling this year. It's absolutely insane.
What happened to the play calling that you guys had in Super Bowl 52?
Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator. If you watch the Colts, that offense that they run is the exact offense we were running. And we got away from it. And now I think we have a coach who, if he has the right quarterback, like a Nick Foles type guy, somebody like that, he's very good at dealing and using him. But a guy with Carson's skill set, Doug does not know how to utilize him. He just doesn't.
So, who do you think needs to go for the Eagles? Is it Doug or is it Carson?
Neither. I think because you got a Super Bowl winning coach and a quarterback that just got tremendous amount of money. What they need to do is they need to get an offensive coordinator. We have no offensive coordinator. They need to tell Doug, hey, look, you can be the head coach, but you need an offensive coordinator. You need somebody who can basically know how to build an offense around the quarterback that you have. And then do that. And if Carson still struggles at that point, I'll say, you know what? He didn't pan out. But I believe under the right coaching, I believe you'll see Carson be who we think he is, you know?
Yeah. So I watch First Take usually in the mornings, and Max Kellerman is a total Carson Wentz hater.
Oh, God, yeah.
But he presented some crazy like trade sequence or trade thing a few weeks back where he's like, he said, like, trade Carson Wentz to the Colts.
Wait, hold on. I'm listening. I got to plug this in. Go ahead. Let me hear.
He said something like, trade Carson Wentz to the trade Carson Wentz to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what he said the Colts would give up in that deal. But why would the Eagles trade Carson Wentz to the Colts?
I think the assumption is that Carson needs a change. Frank Reich had him playing like an MVP, and then you have Jalen Hurts. So there's a lot of people that think Jalen Hurts is going to be really good. I personally have no idea. Either way, I'm not against Jalen Hurts. I'm not for him. Hated the pick. I thought it was a terrible pick, a waste of pick.
I thought you guys were reaching on that pick, and I personally did not understand it. Like, when you guys drafted him, I'm like, are they going to try and use Jalen Hurts like how New Orleans uses Taysom Hill?
They do, but except for the fact that he's not Hill, and he always runs the ball. If you see him come in, and I talked about this in my preview prediction video, it amazes me that how the Eagles use Hurts, because you'll have a situation where Carson he might throw like 3 passes. Maybe he starts to get into a rhythm. Maybe you get a big play downfield, and then all of a sudden Jalen Hurts is in. Carson is lined up as a wide receiver, which nobody's worried about him at wide receiver. So that's just stupid. And it seems like it just totally kills any momentum the offense had, you know?
Right.
Hey, Jess, what's up? I see some guys in here. Jess, Marcus.
Yeah.
And shout out to all you guys for coming.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people in the
Zachary. Yeah.
So, Jeff, to answer your question as for what my score prediction is, the Browns have put up 30-plus points in 5 of their 6 wins this season. The only exception was last week's bizarre, strange, whatever word you want to use, 10-7 victory against Houston. So because we put up 30-plus points, I'm going to say the Browns, it's not going to be a blowout. I feel like Philly's going to be able to keep it close, even in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say the Browns win 31-24.
Man, I hope not. I hope not. You're going to have to run for a lot of yards. And you know, here's one thing, though. I can say this. And Eagle fans know this. The Eagles have a tendency to love to use a play action fake. But the problem is they don't run the ball enough for defenses to even respect it.
Right.
So nobody ever bites
that's
on the
our
fake.
specialty.
Right. And nobody bites on the fake. And then what happens is you by faking and going through the motion of faking the handoff, you're actually giving the defensive line more time to get to the quarterback. They don't roll Carson out, which they need to do a lot more of.
Which is what we do with now.
If you guys really want to throw the Eagles off, if you come out throwing, I think because the Eagles are going to come out and they're going to look to stop the run. But if you come out, let's say you come out early in the game and you go play action, you roll Baker Mayfield. I think that there's big plays to be made in there early on in the game when the Eagles are going to be over respecting that running game. Just
Right.
thought. And their secondary has struggled. Our
Right.
linebackers are horrendous. They're horrendous. So there's a possibility you could light it up. Baker could have a big game. Just saying.
What style of defense do the Eagles play anyway? Do you guys play like a 4-3,
They play a
3-4?
4-3. They play a 4-3, but they believe in getting pressure with your front four. So they like to play a lot of 4 down linemen. They'll play a lot of 2 linebackers. They like the extra defensive back. But it's just weird. I hate the scheme. I like 4-3 defense, but I don't believe that the way they run their defense is good, because if you're not getting pressure right with your front four, you're sitting duck, and that's what happens. I believe in today's NFL, when you have a league that is so offense driven and offense heavy, I think the big way for a defense to neutralize that is you got to get to the quarterback. You got to get pressure on him. Even if it's not a sack, you got to make him uncomfortable. So you need defenses, and I think the best defenses are the ones that bring pressure, not just from the front four, but you blitz. You blitz from all angles. You disguise a blitz, especially when you're playing young quarterbacks. The Eagles do not do this. And one thing you'll see the Eagles do a lot is, let's say you have a 3rd and 15.
Okay.
Don't play back to the sticks. And the easiest thing for you to do is just throw the quick pass, and you probably could run for the first down. And this happens every week, year in, year out, and it drives me nuts.
I can tell.
Yeah.
So we play a 4-3 defense as well. I think it's kind of based off of what San Francisco did, because Joe Woods, our defensive coordinator, came from San Francisco. What's up, Steel Cannon? He's a Steelers fan, so
I figured that. Yeah,
I'm sure you love the Steelers.
You know, I have no issues personally with the Steelers. I mean, I hated losing to them, but I have no. They don't bother me like the Pittsburgh Penguins or the Pittsburgh Pirates. Really, Cleveland too. The whole AFC does not bother me. It's the NFC.
I wish you were just talking about how Philly and Pittsburgh don't get along when it comes to the NHL, especially.
Right.
The Battle of Pennsylvania, if that game is on national television, I am finding a way to sit my butt down on the couch in my favorite spot in my man cave. I'm turning that volume up, and I'm getting like as many sodas as I can, and I'm finding the popcorn, and I'm just like, This is amazing.
Right. Exactly. No, I hear you.
I'm a Blue Jackets fan. So.
Oh, my man Marcus got blocked.
Yeah, sorry. That's my fault.
Oh, Marcus, just hang in there, buddy.
We'll let you back in shortly. But yeah, I'm a huge Blue Jackets fan. So I don't hate the Flyers, actually. The main teams I hate in the Metro are the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. Yuck.
Yeah, I hate both those teams too.
Yeah, I wish Pittsburgh had an NBA team. Because if Pittsburgh had an NBA team, you guys in Philly would have a rivalry with them on all 4 fronts. You would have the Penguins and Flyers. You would have the Steelers and Eagles, even though you guys meet once every 4 years.
Yeah.
You would have the Pirates and the Phillies, and then you would have the 76ers and Pittsburgh's NBA team.
Right.
Which the 76ers, quick side note, the 76ers have a special place in my life, actually. So My dad and I have a lifetime goal to see a game at every current NBA team's arena.
Oh, that's cool.
But the problem is, I get really freaked out by like pyrotechnics, like fire shooting out or like
Okay.
fireworks and stuff.
Right.
So it's been a bit of a struggle for me.
Uh-huh.
4th of July is, my most. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound un-American, but I personally dislike 4th of July because of the fireworks at the end of the night. It just always has me on nerves. But so when I went to Philly, they're playing the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to stay in for the intro with the fire, and I'm not going to use any type of obstruction. Like, I'm not going to put headphones in. I'm not going to like cover my eyes or anything. And I did it. So
good job. There you go.
So the 76ers have a special place in my life for that.
There you go. That's awesome.
By the way, my favorite college basketball team plays in Philly.
Nova, Temple.
You got it.
Villanova. That's cool. I see your awesomeness sports. What's up, man? And Steel Cannon. I know Philly by his reaction to this drafting the Lamb thing. Yeah, I didn't like that. There you go, Villanova.
Yep, I went to a Nova game, actually.
Very cool.
Yep, I've been a Nova fan all my life. So you bet I went nuts when Chris Jenkins put in that game-winning shot against USC.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Anyway, but let's get back to Browns Eagles because that's what we're here for. So, as I said, we play a similar defense to you. We also play a 4-3. It's a little bit different though, because Joe Woods came from the San Francisco defensive scheme. Hey, Gangrene David, New York Jets YouTuber, my guy.
What's up, David?
I feel bad for you about your Jets this season, but hey,
he's used to it. They always
you get to see us in week 16, which if I haven't had my jaw surgery by that time, I'm definitely down for a video collaboration with you. Tentatively, I'm scheduled to get jaw surgery on December 2nd, so I don't know if I'll be able to reach my goal of getting a video collaboration done with every YouTuber. But with COVID and stuff, we'll see if that gets delayed, and if so, by how long.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so we kind of talked about both teams' offenses, but I want to focus on the Eagles' wide receivers.
Okay.
So I know you have the former Houston quarterback that you turned into a wide receiver. I forget his name off the top of my head.
Greg Ward Jr.
Yes, you have Greg Ward Jr. And you have Boston Scott, and you have Travis Fulgham.
Boston Scott's running back.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Travis Fulgham, Jalen Reagor.
Yep. You have Jalen Reagor, who you drafted in the first round.
We got Alshon Jeffrey back last week.
That's right, you did. Yeah. So we primarily put either Denzel Ward or Terrence Mitchell on the opponent's best wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, I don't feel like you guys really have a number one receiver. Is that a good assessment or?
Well, I think it depends who you're talking to. If we're gonna talk to Doug Peterson, I think he'd probably say Alshon is. Alshon is coming back from injury. I personally think this Travis Fulgham kid could be special. I think he could be really, really good. Whether or not they think he's a number one yet, I don't know.
I love this. I love this comment by Gangrene. I think Philly 500 should know. I finally told Bad Dog, that Sam Darnold has failed as a New York Jet. Hey, I still got to reach out to Bad Dog because I'm looking for a New York Giants YouTuber.
Oh, Bad Dog is great. Yeah.
For week
Bad
15.
Dog.
Hey, Jazzy TV. He is a Cincinnati Bengals YouTuber.
Yeah, I know Jazzy. Jazzy's the man.
I did 2 video collaborations with him this year. He says, "What's up, fellas? Much love. Who has a better day throwing, in your opinion, Baker or Carson?" Well, I can start with Baker, and then I'll let you discuss Carson. So the thing with Baker is Kevin Stefanski has pretty much taken the ball out of his hands, kind of like what you were saying with Carson Wentz. We pretty much want to limit Baker to about 30 to 35 passes, maybe 40 a game, and let the run game run the running tandem of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt control the game. And that's how we build our passing game. You know, we establish the run, and then we use the play action. But the other thing we do is Baker doesn't seem to be comfortable as a pocket quarterback. You know, there's some guys like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. I could go on and on. Drew Brees I could put in there.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that you think of when you hear the term pocket passer.
Mm-hmm.
Baker's not really that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of learned that Baker's not a pocket passer.
Mm-hmm.
He's better throwing on the run.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like Carson in what you were saying earlier, a little bit, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I'm not making the argument Baker's going to have a better passing day because we're not a passing offense.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, based on what I've seen of the Eagles this season, you guys are more of a passing offense. So based off that, I would have to say Carson's probably going to have a better day throwing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, if I'm the Browns and you know, I'm such a run heavy team, I just think about a guy like Baker. If you could move him around, play action, roll him out, I mean, he could go off. You got the talent offensively to do that. I think for the Eagles, they get too pass heavy. I think if they just had some more balance, it doesn't even have to be 50-50 run pass ratio. But if let's say it was, you know, I don't know, 60-40, you know, 55-45, something like that, I think Carson would be much more effective. I just think that, you know, Carson hasn't had a good game. This offense, this team as a whole has not really put a complete game on the field yet. At some point, they got to, and I'm hoping it's this week. We're running out of time here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, again, you guys are 3-4-1, and yet you're somehow leading. I'm sorry to say this, but you're leading the NFC least.
Right. I know. It's crazy. And I would say that if you had to say which team is looking like they could win this division, I think the Giants right now have all the momentum. They beat us. They beat Washington the week before. And the only, you know, I look at this game as an opportunity. You have a team that's 6-3 in a very tough division. And if you can figure a way, if you can beat them, I think it's one of those games where it gives you a little confidence. You come away with a little momentum. And then if somehow on primetime you can figure a way to beat Seattle, everything changes. You know, the whole outlook can change.
Right.
You know, that's the great thing about football. Week to week, this is a week-to-week league. Any team could beat any team if you're not ready to play.
Correct.
So, I'm hoping that the Eagles, you know, after what happened to them, I'm hoping that they're ready to play you guys, you know. But
yeah,
I tell you, I do worry about your run. But what really kind of worries me more is if you guys say, you know what, we do run the ball and that's our main thing, but we're going to come out throwing early. And we're going to roll Baker out, and we're gonna use our play action. I think the Eagles will eat it up all day long, and I think you could go put 21 quick points on the board. I think it could be something like that. That's what scares me more than anything.
that's kind of what we did against Indianapolis, where we knew they had a really good run defense, so we came out passing it. Just wanted to touch on this. Jeff says back in 2017, it would be rare if Carson threw over 30 attempts a game.
Yeah, he didn't have to. But they had it's very interesting. When I watch the Colts, I see the Eagles 2017 to a T,
And then Cato Jackson says, do you think the Eagles will start Jalen Hurts?
No.
Cato, do you mean for this game, or are you just saying at some point this season?
I don't think he'll start this game. I don't think he'll start at any point this season unless Carson's hurt.
Okay.
I think, I don't want him to, because you just paid this man tons of money. I think you swim or you drown with him, and if he's struggling, you let him play it through. You got no choice.
Yep. And then we got a question from Zachary here. It looks like he's a fellow Eagles fan.
Yeah, Zachary. I know Zachary from my channel.
I'm glad a bunch of your Eagles fans came over to the channel. Guys, I know I'm a Browns fan, but subscribe to my channel. I'm a good dude. I make a lot of Browns content, but I also make a lot of general sports content. I'm a big UFC fan, so I'll make videos about that. I make game reaction videos. I've done live streams during games in the past. I might do that for the Chiefs-Raiders game. I'm not sure. Depends on what time I get home from the Eagles-Browns game on Sunday. But as for your question, Zachary, what is the best Browns game and what is the best Eagles game? To answer your question as for what's the best Browns game, I would say it's that Week 5 Colts game. I know we put up 49 points against the Cowboys, but our defense allowed Dak Prescott and that high-powered Cowboys offense to come back. So I personally liked how we played against the Colts. So that's why I'm going to say the Week 5 Colts game. What about for you?
If I had to talk about Browns, I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys game, because that was just so beautiful to watch. As for the Eagles, we really have not played a complete game. It seems like no matter what, we're always struggling. For me personally, I think I got the most appreciation out of that Giants win, the first one, because of the nature in which they won the game, coming back at the end. It was fun. But I think maybe the best game that they played all year might have been against the Niners. Actually, to be honest with you, they lost the Pittsburgh game, but I thought they played, especially offensively, really good. But probably the Niners was probably the best game we played.
Yeah. I love this comment. He's just like, "What's up, GOAT?" I don't know who you're referring to, if you're referring to me or Philly. But
what's up? Not quite like them. How are you?
Brown Awesomeness Sports says Browns won versus Eagles. Okay, so I think he's predicting the Browns to win.
Yeah, I get. I mean, I can't blame anybody for picking the Browns. I can't. And if I took my heart out of it and I was logically talking, it would make sense. But I just feel like at some point we got to do something, and if it's not now, I don't know when it's going to be.
Who's y'all's early Super Bowl prediction right now? Top of the AFC and NFC as of today. Okay, so before this, in week 1, I did a video collaboration with Engraven Vids. He's a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Yeah.
And I said that the Ravens would be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the Ravens are playing right now, no, I can't say that the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl now.
Right.
For me, it's either Pittsburgh, Kansas City, or you could throw Las Vegas in there.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry.
No, I cut you off. It's my bad.
But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Kansas City again. And for the NFC, there's just something about Aaron Rodgers that he's playing on a different level this season. Maybe it's because he's mad at the Packers for drafting his predecessor.
I agree. I was gonna say right now, Kansas City, Green Bay. Before the season began, I said Baltimore, New Orleans, and I had Baltimore winning. But I think KC is going to be there at the end. So I agree with you.
I love this comment from Jazzy. He goes, Philly, y'all's best game was trying to my Bengals. That game was on my wedding day. I just wanted to win.
That was one. Jazzy, man, congratulations on getting married, my man. God bless you and your wife. But let me tell you something. That game utterly pissed me off because we had Cincinnati dead to right in overtime. And all of a sudden, we get a first down, and Doug Peterson decides, I'm going to run this clock out and kick a game-winning field goal. The problem was, it was a 57-yard field goal. And he literally was trying to run the clock out to kick a 57-yarder. That made no sense to me. You got to get 15, 20 more yards at least. And what happened? He was settling for a 57-yard field goal, and then they jump all sides. So, it's just like that game really frustrated me.
Yeah. And Not Quite Like Him says, both of y'all are goats. Keep doing y'all thing.
Thanks, buddy. Shout out to you.
And then he comes out and says, hey, a Ravens fan right here. We're going all the way.
Ravens are tough. I think the Ravens they could be that team. It wouldn't surprise me. I think Lamar Jackson struggling a little bit more in the passing game this year, but
I gotta put this comment up from Gay Green. Can we hear Philly 500 sing his trademarked Bad Dog
everywhere
song?
I go, these people want a concert. I'll give you the Bad Dog song. Bad Dog is mad dog, cause he knows Giants always stink. They trade Odell Beckham Jr., they draft Daniel Jones. He works for NASA, they stink. Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Hey, Gang Green, maybe it's a good thing you guys are losing, because then you can draft either Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields.
They'll draft a tight end.
Hey, the draft is supposed to be here in Cleveland next year.
Is it?
Yes.
That's good. Is it supposed? I thought they were supposed to have it in Vegas last year, right?
Correct.
They weren't just going to have it there again, or
no? They said like the 2022 draft is going to be in Vegas, something like that. And I'm sorry, Not Quite Like Him says Lamar has a better year last year, but he's getting better. Yeah, but he struggled with his passing game all year.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's what I'll say to Not Quite Like Him. The thing with Baltimore is I believe that's a team that's built for the cold weather, late January, playoffs. They're a team that could be very scary in the playoffs. And I think they're built for that. So if I'm in the AFC, I don't care who I am. If I have to go up against Baltimore, I think that's a scary proposition.
So here's the thing: we're sitting at 6-3, and Baltimore's sitting at 6-3. But so is I think Tennessee's at 6-3. The Dolphins are at 6-3. The Raiders are at 6-3. Right now, I believe the three teams who would be in are the Ravens, Dolphins, and Raiders. The Ravens have the tiebreaker over the Browns because of that ass whooping they put on us in week 1 in the Charm City,
right?
aka Baltimore, 38-6.
Right.
The Raiders have the tiebreaker advantage over us because they beat us in week 8, 16-6. I don't know why Miami has the tiebreaker over us. It probably has something to do with points, or I don't know. But Normally I do root for the Raiders because they're just one of these teams that I like to root for. But for this week, I can't do that. I need the Chiefs to beat the Raiders, and I need the Ravens to lose against the Titans. Because then I believe we jump both of those teams, and specifically, we would jump the Ravens in the AFC North and move to second. And we still have to play both Pittsburgh and Baltimore here in Cleveland. And we play Baltimore on Monday Night Football.
That's going to be an interesting matchup.
That game will be 14.
Pittsburgh's dangerous. Pittsburgh, I like their defense. You know, Ben looks much better than he has in a few years. That's another team that I think is built for the – see, all those AFC North teams, to me, those are the type of teams that even if they don't have the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, they're built for that kind of weather.
Right.
And you know, that's why I get so mad at the NFC North, just saying. You have Cleveland plays outside, Pittsburgh plays outside, Baltimore plays outside, Cincinnati plays outside. Then you get the NFC North. Minnesota plays inside. Detroit plays inside. I think it's such a stupid thing to have such an advantage and then not use it, you know?
Yeah. Zach says, I think if Big Ben wins one more Super Bowl, he will retire. No, I don't know.
Very good. He could. He could. I think Pittsburgh was one of those teams that is scary in the playoffs too.
Yeah. So not quite like him wants to know, what do you all think y'all teams need to do to win a Super Bowl? God, I'm saying y'all a lot tonight.
We have the first thing the Eagles have to do is they need to get a new GM. They need to get a real talent evaluator because we are really strapped in with the cap. I think we're $60 million over, and we're gonna be cutting a lot of the older players, and we're gonna be freeing that up and getting space. But over the next few years, that draft is important. We need to draft good guys, young guys, and we can't have a GM who's taking Jalen Hurts in the second round. You can't have a GM who's taking JJ Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf. You can't miss on picks like that, especially when every fan of that team knows what you should do, and then the GM doesn't do it. So
right. So
that's the number one thing.
So for us, the Haslams need to stay out of the way.
Right.
I'm sorry, but Jimmy and Dee Haslam are the AFC equivalent of Jerry Jones. That's why it got screwed up in 2014, which was the last time the Browns had a legit chance at making it to the playoffs. Think about it. We had Mike Payton as the head coach. We had Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
We were in a good position. But the Haslam said, no, we drafted Johnny Manziel, number 22 overall, which was stupid. We should not have drafted Johnny Manziel. He was not ready for the NFL. He did. I'm sorry. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent.
No, go get it out, man.
But man, I get it. Manziel had a great season. But Heisman, no. Johnny Manziel did not deserve to win that Heisman. No.
Yeah.
That we had a winning season that year up until a certain point. And then the Haslams, as I said, stepped in and they said, no, we want to see Johnny Manziel. And it went completely downhill.
Yeah.
We had John Dorsey as general manager. Have you seen what John Dorsey did in Kansas City? He drafted Tyreek Hill. He brought in Kareem Hunt, and then when he was the general manager here, what does he do? He brings in Kareem Hunt again. He drafts Mahomes. He makes all these fantastic moves. And did the owners of the Chiefs try to interfere with him in any way? No. He comes here to Cleveland, and what happens? He's allowed to do his moves for maybe a year or two, and then the Haslams are like, nope, we want to step in, and you have to do X, Y, and Z. And John Dorsey's like, no, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. I want to do ABC or whatever letters. It's just that I don't know. Maybe the Haslams need to sell this team. And the weird thing is, the Haslams actually came from Pittsburgh. They were minority owners in the Steelers. So you would think they would have gotten it through their tiny freaking minds that, like, oh, if we stay out of the way, that the team can actually do something.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening this season. They've allowed Andrew Berry to do his thing. They've allowed Kevin Stefanski to do his thing. And we're sitting at 6-3, and we're right in the heart of the playoff race.
Yeah.
When's the last time we Browns fans could say, hey, we're in the thick of the playoff race?
Right.
And week 11 means something.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Jeez. I mean, I said this earlier. Like, the Browns don't know what the Super Bowl is. We've been social distancing from it since its inception. You guys at least know what it's like to play in the Super Bowl, let alone win it, which, again, thank you for being the Patriots.
You're very welcome. Glad we could do it.
I really appreciate it. I'm actually considering getting the Eagles Super Bowl championship film because
just because you hate New England that much, huh?
Yes.
Why do you hate New England so much?
Because they're cheaters.
That's true. They are. They're definitely cheaters.
Yes.
You know.
That's why I don't consider all 6 of their Super Bowls legit. No.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel that way. No question about it. I was glad we could beat them. It was our pleasure. You
should have beat them in Super Bowl 39.
Yeah, well, they might have been cheating from what I heard. It was a very weird. You know, they came out of that second half, and it was like they knew exactly everything we were doing. It was a little bit strange.
I was so mad about that game because I wanted Donovan McNabb to win a Super Bowl.
I know.
He's one of the best. I'm not going to say he is the best player in Eagles history. He's one of your best players in franchise history.
Yeah, he's probably – most people probably see him as the best quarterback in franchise history. Although, you know, if you go back, you know, way back, there's other quarterbacks. But I thought he was good. He was all right. I'm a Randall Cunningham guy, so I go way back. But
I think he's eligible for the Hall of Fame this year.
He's been eligible for a while, but you know, he deserves to get in. And the reason he deserves it is because they always say there's 2 ways to get in. You put up great statistics and things like that, or you do something that really changes the game. And Randall Cunningham changed the game, especially that quarterback position. You didn't have guys like him, Michael Vick, guys that could run like you do now. I mean, it was really Randall. Randall was the guy.
Yeah. I could also include Eli Manning in that discussion.
Yeah, I think Eli gets in at some point too. I think he'll get in.
I think the only reason Eli's going to get in, though, is because, you know, he beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl.
Right. Well, yeah, and look, I hate the Giants, but I think people, and I say this all the time, and I think people treat Eli like he wasn't that good and he was lucky. But people forget. I mean, he went into some hostile environments in the playoffs and won. He won on the road in Green Bay. He won on the road, a 13-3 Dallas team. I think Eli was a little bit better than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
And I hate the Giants.
Yeah. Okay. So Nick Foles won your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get – I know there's a statue already of the Philly special.
Right.
Do you think Nick Foles will eventually get his jersey retired by the Eagles as a result of Super Bowl 52?
It's a great question. I don't think so, but I mean, he could. I mean, he did deliver them a Super Bowl, one of the great Super Bowl performances I've ever seen.
That was one of the best Super Bowls I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was great. But the only thing is he really hasn't played enough full seasons, I think, to consider that or to warrant it. But I'm sure most fans want it. If they decide to do it, I have no problem with it. I love Nick Foles. I do. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys just got a Hall of Famer recently too. Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah,
Westbrook. Hopefully Westbrook gets in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if he will, but he's my favorite running back in franchise history.
Okay, so if I had to pick a favorite running back in franchise history for the Browns, I wasn't around for Jim Brown, so I can't really say. I wasn't really around. I wasn't alive for like the good times with the Browns.
Right.
So I guess I would have to say my favorite Browns running back in franchise history is Nick Chubb because, yeah, Peyton Hillis had the one good year that got him from that and cover, but then he's done nothing since.
Yeah. Didn't you have Ernest Biner?
Yeah, he was the one that was involved in the fumble.
But he was a great running back. It's a shame. I was too young for Jim Brown too, but my dad will tell you he's the greatest player to ever play.
Yeah, I was too young for like Ernest Biner and the fumble.
Yeah. I remember Biner.
Yeah, and I think I was like just born when the drive happened against the Broncos, and I've heard about Red Right 88 and all this stuff, and it's crazy all the bad luck that's happened here in Cleveland.
Do you like the Draft Day movie?
That's a good movie, yeah.
Because it's a Browns. I always wanted to ask a Brown fan, what do you think of that movie?
It's good, but it's so freaking unrealistic.
Yeah,
definitely. What? Is there one Brown that you thought should have won a Super Bowl that never did? Jim Brown? Tim Couch? Bernie Kosar? Ernest Biner? Yeah.
Yeah. You had a good team back in the Schottenheimer days.
Yeah.
I was a little young then, but man, the Browns were always a tough team. I felt, like I said to you before, I always felt like the Browns have had bad luck.
Yeah.
Worse than the Eagles,
We seem to be the most snake-bitten team.
I mean, you had your team, right? And they were just getting ready to be really good, and then they moved to Baltimore.
Yeah. Which, I always argue the Ravens are not the Browns because the Browns' name, colors, and history and all that stayed here in Cleveland. It's not like Baltimore became the Baltimore Browns.
No. But it was just the internal parts of that organization was all you guys. That roster was you guys.
Correct. So
that's why if I was a Brown fan, I would hate that team.
Oh, I hate the Ravens. I don't like the Ravens. I don't like the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I don't like the Steelers, but I don't like them either. I'm kind of indifferent about Pittsburgh.
Right. Really? That's interesting. Because Pittsburgh seems like, don't they got your number?
Yep. Browns fans want Pittsburgh to be a rivalry, and I do too. But I'm a objective Browns fan. I'm not like one of these crazy Browns fans that thinks, oh, we're going to go 16-0 or we're going to do this and that. No. Like for me, Pittsburgh's not a rivalry.
Because you guys don't win enough for them to be a rivalry?
Yeah. And the game.
When's the last time you beat Pittsburgh?
Last season, week 11.
Yeah, that's right.
Thursday Night Football. But
that's right.
When's the last time a Browns Steelers? Okay, week 6, Browns Steelers mean something. What happened? Right. We get thumped 38-7.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So we're at about an hour 15. So I think you said you had to get running.
I got some work to finish up and stuff.
All right. So let's wrap things up here. Again, I'm picking the Browns to win 32-24. I think I said. And what did you say?
27-17 Eagles.
Okay. So Are you down to do a post game video on like Monday or Tuesday?
It would have to be I have to get back to you. It's I got some things going. I got a post game. Sunday's big day for me because I got about 4 streams I'm doing. Monday I have a couple. Tuesday I may be. We'll just have to speak.
All right.
And I'll have to get back to you because I just can't commit.
Okay, if not, it's fine. I just thought I would ask and extend the offer.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate, definitely, having me on. I enjoyed this talk. It's good to talk to a Browns fan. We only play you once every 4 years, so
yeah,
kind of cool.
Yep. Next time we play you, we'll be at Lincoln Financial Field.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll be ready to go.
Yep. So again, I'm gonna be at this game, but it's gonna be raining, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a lot of in-game reaction, but I may put up some in-game footage. Hopefully my camera lens doesn't get too wet.
Right.
Very
cool. Yeah. I will definitely check it out.
Yeah. Do you want to give a closing?
Just thank you for having me on. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that while you're at the game enjoying that game and the weather, I hope my team, I hope they rise up and do something and get going because I'm sick of losing. But once again, thank you for having me on. It was an honor, and I really appreciate you asking me to come on.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this. Just a quick side note. When I've done these video collaborations, the Browns have only lost 5 times.
5. How many times have you done them?
I've done them for every game this season. And like a few games last season, and then like 1 or 2 the previous couple seasons.
So I just got to be more nervous now.
Just so you know, those 5 losses came at the hands of Baltimore twice, so Engraven Vids in 2018. 2018, week 17 in that amazing game in Baltimore. Week 1 this season. 2019, week 6 against Seattle against NordCam. Week 6 this season against Just Blaze 412 and Steel Twins with the Steelers. And then week 8 against Samoan Raider and Spotlight Raiders Talk. So, yep. So just if your nerves weren't up enough.
They are.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're an Eagles fan, please subscribe to my channel.
Definitely.
I'm almost at 400 subscribers, which is incredible. When I started this channel, I didn't even think I was going to get to 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
To think that I'm almost at 400 is just amazing, and
definitely
the tribute to you, the viewers, you, the subscribers, YouTubers like yourself, Philly, because you bring Eagles fans over to the channel, and so they can check me out. But until next time, I'm Unger to the Max. That's Philly. That's Philly 500. And I will see you next time on another episode of The Sports Room. A salute to you. Go Dogs. Or, yeah. As in the Browns. Because our nickname's